Welcome back to ADHD Whiskey. My name is Matt, and this is 1 Ounce Wednesday. Possibly the creepiest, spookiest, scariest 1 Ounce Wednesday to ever exist. And if this video gets 900 likes, I'll drink whiskey on top of Doc Holliday's grave. Pinky swear. On this 1 Ounce Wednesday, I'm gonna grab a blind sample out of that pumpkin's head. I'm gonna pour it into a glass and I'm gonna review its ass. Gonna give it a score too. So get the broomstick out of your ass and sit tight, because it's gonna be a great 1 Ounce Wednesday tonight. Clean glass. Got one. Blind sample. Got one. America. Looks like this just turned into 2 Ounce Wednesday, because that was a big sample bottle. Given the spookiest, creepiest SJ I've ever given on the channel. Have you ever got or given an SJ that haunts you to this day? I know I have. And I'm bringing that one to the grave. Oh, this is a rye. It's very pungently rye. Sometimes you can't tell the difference between a bourbon and a rye, but tonight, my senses are piqued and I can almost feel the whiskey. Pears, lots of pears, like a pair of pears. A very pear-forward pour. And I'm not talking about one of those green waxy pears, those fake-ass green costume-wearing pears. I'm talking about the legit friggin' brown and fuzzy friggin' real pears. The pears that don't look as good, but love extra hard. Brown, fuzzy friggin' pears. This might be the most pear-forward pour porter's ever poured, apparently. Have you ever eaten a Jelly Belly that's flavored like a pear, and then you're like, holy ball sacks, that tastes exactly like a friggin' pear, bro? This is like tasting a pear Jelly Belly with your nose, then it's liquid and full of alcohol. Wow. I love the smell so hard. This smells so good. If the universe is ready for me to taste and review and score this pour, give me a sign. Hopefully I remember to enter thunder strikes and like stuff like that. If I didn't, then that's what that was meant for. Thunder strikes and lightning bolts. You know what I mean? Anyway, it's October, bitches. And this spirit's not gonna drink itself. Wow. Whoa. Whoa. Wow. Wow. Camera 1, camera 2. Camera 1, camera 2. Whew. That's a friggin' wow. I was 100% correct about saying that this was a rye whiskey. This is 100% a rye whiskey. The question that's eating at me and has been eating at me for the last 7 to 9 seconds is this. Is this a finished rye whiskey? It tastes like a high rye offering, possibly MGP 95.5, or also, quite possibly, some sort of Canadian rye. Sometimes I get MGP and Canadian rye confused, and that's not my fault. I can't help it. The way that this smells so sweet and so pear-like makes me think that this has gotta be finished. I don't think I've ever nosed a rye whiskey that just smelled like straight friggin' pears. Second sip. It is high proof. I'll put it at 121 proof. 121 proof. Finished rye whiskey. And although I do enjoy the flavors, it's very sweet. It's very pear-like. It's very green Jolly Rancher forward. It's like sour apple and limes and pears, crystallized sugars, kind of like surrounding the rye whiskey core. This is gonna sound weird, And if this is not a finished rye whiskey, it's gonna sound even weirder. And if that's the case, I want you to completely disregard what I'm saying right now. But I am getting like this sugary aftertaste in my mouth that I feel like if I just let this sit for a few minutes, and then I talk to somebody, I close talk to somebody, really close talk to somebody, they would be like, brother, your breath is bad. It smells like you just ate a bag of candy. And I would say that is probably true. Although I don't remember eating a bag of candy, it still could have happened. That sugar residue that gets left on your tongue, that sugar aftertaste, I'm getting on this pour. And I'm not an enormous fan of that. And although I didn't pick up on any sugariness on the palate of this, the aftertaste kind of gave it away and was like, yo, something funny's going on here. Like when you order a diet drink at your favorite fast food restaurant and you get your drink and you drive away and you're 3 miles down the road and stab a straw through the top of the friggin' lid and you suck it up and you swallow it and you're like, son of a bitch, that's not diet. You know, well, I can tell because the sugar aftertaste. Damn it, son of a bitch. And then your wife is like, just call them and complain. And you're like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna take it out on my family instead for the next several hours. Never happened to me, but I've heard of it. Pears. Third sip. I do enjoy everything about this until the lingering aftertaste of like sugar. It just makes my mouth all sticky and like, the aftertaste reminds me of a flavored whiskey, and I don't dig that. I dig the nose. I dig the palate. I dig the transition of flavors. I dig its complexity, and I dig it. I dig it. Until the aftertaste, which throws up a red flag for me. A red flag of wonder. A red flag of, a red flag of what did you do to this honestly? And today, on this very special, spooky 1 ounce Wednesday. That wasn't right. This 1 ounce, damn it. You get the point. I give this blind pour a blind score of 7.4. It's a good, bordering on very good. If it wasn't for the sugary aftertaste, this would have been in the 8s. It would have been a great pour because I enjoy it so much. I actually quite love this pour. I think it's phenomenal until it's not. But if you don't mind, if you don't care about that dried sugar breath, then don't let me be your whiskey scarecrow. Go out and get this, because you might want one or even more. What were we drinking on this extra special spooky 1 ounce Wednesday? Let's find out. Today, we were drinking. You probably can't see it because it's super dark. Barrel Seagrass Gold Label 20-year 127.22 proof from Mr. Chris Miller. That's gotta be one expensive biatch. $400! Holy shit. I think that's one of the absolute best finished rye whiskeys I've ever tasted, but one of the most disappointing finished rye whiskeys I've ever had to taste after I thought I should. I still have that sugary taste in my mouth. If my wife were here, I'd totally go breathe in her face right now and she'd be like, the fuck are you doing? What have you been drinking? And I'd be like, first of all, I'm breathing in your face. Second of all, yes. Third, but the question is, what else? And she'd be like, you're fucking stink. And I'd be like, thank you. That's all I wanted. I'll sleep on the couch. Babe, love you. You're the best. That's gonna do it for this 1 ounce Wednesday. And like I said, if this video gets 900 likes, I'll bring whiskey out to Doc Holliday's grave and drink on top of it. Probably with some friends, because I couldn't do it alone. I'd be super petrified and scared. But I'll definitely do it if we get 900 likes. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed. My name is Matt, this is ADHD Whiskey, and like I always say, keep your head in the clouds, but your mind on watching the creepiest, scariest, freakiest shows you'll ever imagine, because it's October. I would start with Hubie Halloween. It's an Adam Sandler comedy, which critics didn't necessarily love, and it's not necessarily scary, but I can't get enough of Hubie Halloween. Hubie Halloween is great. It's a great movie. It's a great Halloween flick. It's a great Halloween film. I like it so much. Adam Sandler kills it in Hubie Halloween. And if you've never seen it and you want to talk shit in the comments, then just wait to talk shit until you watch it. And then you can probably talk shit and have a solid point. But I can't help what I like. Now I'm going to turn into a bat and fly away.